Hey Waffle Crew, I hope you're all doing fantastic. I'm Mark, and today we're diving into some fresh Reddit tales. If you enjoy these stories, why not give a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and maybe ring the notification bell too. Let's jump right into our first story, sending you all tons of love. Our first tale comes from user Avocado Buzz, who's considering stepping back as maid of honor because the groom is making things unbearable. A former co-worker, someone I'm friendly with but not super close to, asked me to be one of her 2 maids of honor. We've probably met about 20 times over 2.5 years, so I was shocked but touched and thought it'd be a chance to strengthen our bond. Since then, she's started calling me her bestie, which feels a bit rushed and one-sided. I've met her fiancé a few times and we just don't click. He's gossipy, seems insecure, and has been outright rude to me and others. He's also a control freak. As maids of honor, we're tasked with planning 3 events, a bachelorette party, a civil wedding this year, and a religious ceremony in 2026. The bride initially wanted a chill bachelorette focused on quality time. We planned with that in mind. Then her fiancé started making demands, private room and bathroom for the bride, plenty of downtime between activities, and so on. We tweaked our plans to accommodate. But 2 weeks before the bachelorette, he demanded our full schedule, trashed it as not good enough, and told us to scrap it and start over. He sent aggressive messages to the other maid of honor, accusing us of ruining the bride's dream weekend, and even insulted one of the group members, calling her a stupid jerk. When we explained we were keeping costs low per the bride's wishes, he brushed it off, saying other people's budgets weren't his concern. Here's the kicker. This guy's unemployed, not contributing financially to anything, including the wedding. The irony, we reminded him that the maids of honor were chosen to handle this, and he should trust us. He doubled down, implying we're failing as her best friends. I'm starting to wonder if the bride's feeding him instructions behind the scenes, because she avoids confrontation. I'm exhausted. I don't even know why I was picked for this role. I want to support the bride, but I can't deal with this disrespect. I'm not keen on planning 2 more wedding events in this toxic vibe. My plan is to see the bachelorette through, then tell the bride I'm stepping down as maid of honor. Honestly, I'd rather be uninvited to the wedding, but that's her call. Any advice on handling this? This is just the bachelorette. Imagine what their married life will be like. It might sound harsh, but I'd be out. That stupid jerk comment alone would have me saying, "Nope, I'm done," and I'd tell the bride exactly why. New Auntie says stepping down makes sense since it's odd for a casual acquaintance like you to be maid of honor. She could have just asked you to be a bridesmaid, which still feels like a stretch. People see it as an honor, but it's unpaid work to make someone else's day perfect. You're showing restraint by sticking it out until after the bachelorette, but quitting earlier might mess up the event. Opie replies, "We work together, and I think she chose me because I'm reliable and get things done." Someone commented that she's using me, and that's starting to hit home. EMR says, "No offense, but it's telling that she picked someone she barely knows." I'm wondering if others bailed or said no because of him. I hope she sees the red flags before marrying him. I'd say it's too much to continue as a bridesmaid, but you'd attend as a guest if invited. Be clear about why you're stepping down and let her know you're there for her. Opie agrees. I'll be upfront about my reasons and still offer support. Honestly, after all this, I don't want to be around him and would prefer to skip the wedding, but that's their decision. OCPMS asks, what other events are you expected to plan? The couple should handle their own events except for bachelor parties and maybe a bridal shower. Opie clarifies, the bride expects us to help plan both weddings, securing venues, coordinating vendors, setting up and tearing down decorations, and arranging guest surprises. Mr. Pessa says, honestly, I'd screenshot the groom's nasty messages, send them to the bride, and quit now unless you've already spent money on it. Opie responds, the money I've put in isn't worth my sanity. Plus, he's tagging along, and I can't handle a long train ride with him. Microbunny asks, wait, he's coming to the bachelorette? Like a joint bachelor-bachelorette, or just crashing? Opie explains, he's using the trip to visit a friend in the same city. We're traveling together, but staying separately. I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up uninvited, though. Someone asks about the rest of the bridal party. Opie says it's a mix. Old co-workers, college friends she's not close with, and the wife of the groom's friend. I can't believe no one's closer to her than me, except the other maid of honor, her childhood best friend. I want to reassure her I'm still here for her, just not in this role. I can't morally back this relationship or tolerate this guy's behavior. Opie updates. Thanks for the feedback. It helped confirm my instincts and plan my exit. On Monday, I messaged the groom, asking him to back off as he's making me and the other maid of honor uncomfortable. Things got heated. He got defensive, blamed me, and eventually apologized for making me feel uneasy. I didn't respond. Meanwhile, I set up a meeting with the bride for the next day. The groom must have talked to her because she texted me, saying she heard things got tense and hoped we didn't all hate each other. I told her that's why we needed to talk. We met yesterday evening. I said I was honored to be chosen, but, in hindsight, shouldn't have accepted. I explained how her fiancé crossed a line with his controlling and disrespectful behavior. I said I can't be in a bridal party where I'm disrespected or support a relationship I don't believe in. I clarified it's not a friendship breakup. I still want to be her friend, but she deserves a maid of honor who can fully support them both. I left it to her to decide if I'm still invited to the wedding. Her reaction was so blasé. She smiled, said it was fine, and mentioned her fiancé was shaken up by the situation. No surprise, he didn't mention he started it. I expected her to take some accountability, but she didn't apologize or ask what he said. That says a lot. I'd want my friends to feel respected by my partner. She said she understood my choice and that every bachelorette she's been to has drama. Logistically, she had it sorted. She asked me not to cancel the hotel room because her fiancé's officially joining the bachelorette now. He was supposed to stay elsewhere with a friend. She also said she doesn't expect the other maid of honor to attend the wedding unless she and the groom resolve things. I was stunned. If two friends had issues with my partner, I'd dig deeper. I repeated that I'm here for her, just not as maid of honor. We parted amicably, but I won't be surprised if this ends our friendship. I later told the other maid of honor, and she's also considering stepping down. I'm so relieved to be out of this mess. I struggle with tough conversations, so thanks for pushing me to act fast. Edit. I canceled the hotel room and told the bride she'd need to book her own. She didn't reply, but I got a notification that her fiancé removed me and my husband from the wedding's WhatsApp group, which doubled as the civil wedding save the date. I later heard the bride ask the other maid of honor to step down, and she's uninvited too. Claramanta says the bride seems too okay with drama. She didn't care about the details of how you were treated or grasp the seriousness. I'd be mortified and apologizing for my partner. I'm rethinking the friendship. Opie agrees. I'd want to know everything and reassess. Either she's fine with his behavior, or she's ignoring it to avoid facing reality. Crazy Force Ways says, maybe she already knows and accepts it. Her responses suggest she's choosing him and ignoring everything else. Opie replies, that's likely. Maybe she feels special having someone fight for her, making it seem like he puts her first. Our next story comes from Kara Yearly 1344 on the Am I the Asshole subreddit. I'm a 48-year-old man who found out my ex, 49, cheated on me. Of her 2 kids, 23F, 21M, only the daughter is mine. I divorced her, and she tried to reconcile, but I couldn't trust her. In court, she tried to keep the kids from me, but my lawyers were solid. I was still willing to be a dad to Noah, fake name, but my ex is manipulative. She told Noah about his bio dad and introduced them. Noah started seeing me as the strict fake dad and his bio dad as the cool one. At 13, Noah said he didn't want to see me anymore and would tell a judge the same. I asked why or if I'd upset him. He just wanted more time with his bio dad and disliked my rules. Heartbroken, I let him go but kept trying, calling, texting, sending gifts, inviting him to events. Noah rarely responded, sometimes through his sister. At 18, he changed his surname to his bio dad's and said there wasn't room for me at his graduation. I gave up, focusing on my daughter and my son, 12, with my second wife. Recently, Noah apologized and wants to reconnect. I was skeptical, and rightly so. His bio dad got married, and his new wife gave an ultimatum, so he chose her. I told Noah I'm sorry, but I'm not an old coat you wear only when it's cold. My ex calls me petty, and my daughter understands my pain but hopes I'll give Noah a chance. I'm okay without him, and don't want to risk him dropping me again if his bio dad changes his mind. Ida? Galaxy says, not the asshole. Noah didn't reach out because he realized his mom manipulated him. He's reaching out because his bio dad ditched him. It's easy for outsiders to say forgive him, but it's hard when you feel like a backup. Still, let the anger settle, meet him, and see if he's genuine or just using you as a replacement. Opie says, I feel like I'm a placeholder until his bio dad comes back. Commenter suggests asking Noah what he'd do if his bio dad returns. Opie replies, I've considered it. But would I believe him if he said he's sorry and wants a relationship regardless? The name change was a big rejection. Xanav says, not the asshole. At 21, Noah had time to reconnect, but only did so after his dad dropped him. His mom may have influenced him as a kid, but he's had years to reflect. Why the ultimatum from his dad's wife? Does Noah live with him or rely on him financially? If it's about money, he might just want your support. Don't let anyone guilt you. Opie says, I don't know why the ultimatum happened. Noah cut direct contact as a teen and all contact at 18. He had to get my number from my daughter. TMS says Noah is your son. You were there when he was born, changed his diapers. He was a middle schooler when he cut you off. He might have realized his bio dad's rejection showed who really loved him. At 21, he's young, and this could be a chance to rebuild. You'd never regret reconnecting, but rejecting him now could make it harder later. Kids often pick the fun parent, and his trauma from the paternity reveal was huge. You'd be the asshole if you miss this chance. Opie asks, can you still be family if you stop treating each other as such and aren't blood related? My licorice life says yes. Chosen family is real. My daughter calls my ex-husband dad, despite her bio dad being involved. Reconciliation is hard, but not wrong. Opie replies, Noah rejected me, and I stopped seeing him as my son. Did your daughter ever stop calling your ex dad and later change her mind? Edit. I divorced when Noah was 6. He learned about his bio dad at 10, met him at 12. By 13, he'd had time to process. My daughter said Noah wasn't pushed by his mom, he just wanted time with his bio dad, often during my scheduled time. No compromises worked. Update. 2 months later, Opie says thanks for the support. I wrote Noah a letter, per my wife's advice, about how his rejection, excluding me from events, changing his name, hurt me. I said I didn't enjoy his bio dad's rejection of him, as I know that pain. I admitted my anger and resentment for investing in him when I didn't have to. Burning the letter felt cleansing. I got Noah's new number, he changed it at 19, from my daughter and texted him. I said I was sorry for his dad's actions but felt like a last resort. I'm open to a relationship under conditions. 1. Don't call me dad for now. 2. No money or cosigns. 3. Mutual invitations to events. 4. He can mention his bio dad, but I'll either stay silent or speak negatively. 5. Be respectful to my wife and son. 6. Don't share my family's info with his mom. 7. Handle issues with me directly. 8. He'll need to work harder as he's less of a priority now. 9. My assets will mostly go to my daughter and younger son. These terms protect me. If he hurts me again, I'm done. Childhood trauma is real here, with possible manipulation. What do you think? Share below. Our final story, suggested via social media, thanks, is from Background Man 9216 on True Off My Chest. I talked to my wife's late first husband and my stepdaughter's dad. TW, death, English isn't my first language, written on desktop. I met her 20 years ago at a lake party in college. We clicked, but our lives were worlds apart. I was finishing school, had civic duty, and was headed to university far away. She didn't finish school, worked early, and lived in a rough city area while I was in a small town. It didn't work out. We stayed in touch, catching up every 6 to 10 months. We hooked up when I was home, but that stopped when she met her future husband. I never met him. They married, had a daughter, and were happy. I was fine with it, though I missed our chats. My love life wasn't great. I accepted I'd never have a family, battled depression, and leaned on alcohol. High functioning, though. I excelled in school and started a career, moving back to my region. I hadn't heard from her in years. Her life was tougher. Her husband died in a car crash. Not my DUI, but it pushed me to quit. She struggled, ended up in a mental health clinic, and her daughter stayed with her mom. After release, she crashed her car, medication-related, and returned to the clinic. She saw on social media I was back and reached out. I visited, not judging her for driving under the influence given my own issues. We eventually married and built a home. Her daughter wasn't fond of me at first, but we bonded over a PlayStation 5. She's a gamer, like me. We joke it's my genes, as neither her mom nor dad gamed. My wife pretends to enjoy gaming, and I pretend to like her horses. My stepdaughter calls me by my name, which I prefer. I told her I'm not replacing her dad, who was amazing. She believed me when I claimed the PlayStation 5 one evening, sending her to her PlayStation 4. She laughed, saying, "Good parents share." I reminded her I'm not her parent. Her mom dislikes my laid-back approach, but I think she does great raising her. I respect my stepdaughter's boundaries, help with homework, and demand respect for my stuff. Every year, they visit his grave. Early on, I offered to leave the house that day. By year 3, they asked me to drive them. I waited in the car, and we ate quietly afterward. I'm so happy. I never expected this family. But I feel guilty because a good man died for my joy. Every few months, I visit his grave alone, thank him, and update him about his wife, daughter, and parents, who tolerate me but clearly wish I weren't here. They don't know I do this. Today, they're visiting his grave. I'll go in a few days to tell him about this post and that others know he was a great man. Writing about my guilt is hard. Thanks for reading. What do you think? Comment below. Huge thanks for joining today. Your support means everything. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.